Okay, this tutorial is quick and simple. It's an explanation and video presentation on how to go ahead and populate the homeowner's information that you're going to find on these lists that we're going to send once a week or every other week. Now, this is a different type of data. This is all pre-foreclosure abandoned property data that we find here in Portland. So what you're going to want to do is open up your spreadsheet. It's going to be labeled not this typically. It's going to have the week that we receive it, and it's going to have another label, and you'll see it come over pretty systematically. So what you're going to want to do is come in here. It's always going to look the exact same. So first name, middle name, last name of the first individual on the property, and then first two and last two, and that is going to be the first name and last name of the spouse, or if there's a co-occupant on the property. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a moment. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and go to titleprofile.com, and then you're going to want to type in the username and password that we've provided to you. Now in here, I like to go ahead and you have to click on property reports. What I like to go ahead and do is instead of typing the city, just type in OR for Oregon or whatever state this happens to be in, but right now this is only in Oregon. And then I like to go ahead and split screens like this. Because you're going to have first, middle, last, first two, and last two, and then you're going to have the address right here. So instead of having to jump back and forth screen to screen, you can have them both open because this is extremely easy to do. What you're simply going to do is type in the actual site address, so the street number and the street name. And in this case, it's very important that you actually retype this in instead of just doing a copy and paste. Sometimes there's issues on here, such as a space not occurring, like right here. But for whatever reason, I've noticed if you try to go ahead and copy and paste, it doesn't pull the data up here. So you'll see it pulls up the property. You don't click on this at all. You're going to see the owner's name right here. Sometimes it's going to be long, so just extend that out. And then Shelby is the first name, B is the middle initial, and then Sunby is the last name. So the format that you're going to see here is always going to be last name, comma, first name, middle initial. You'd come over here and type it in. And you're done with that particular record. Then you move on to the next one. Now, sometimes the properties aren't going to come up exactly as they're written out over here. So when you're typing in a property, if for some reason it doesn't come up, for example, you type in 5024 Southeast Clay Street, you might need to abbreviate it and just do ST for street, or you can get rid of the street altogether and try different combinations until you'll find the property. You will find it with one of those combinations though. So as you can see here, this one has two. So you're going to type them in. Jeffrey M. Pros, and then his wife, in this case, Tracy Pros. On the second, don't worry about their middle initial here. So when there's two names here, only get the middle initial of the first person. Don't worry about the middle initial of the second, just her first and last name. And you just keep moving down the list. Just like that. It's extremely simple. The process is very quick and it's very painful. When you're done with this entire list, and there's a fair amount. When you're done with this whole list, you're going to want to then go ahead and email or send me the document back via Skype in that format. And we'll send these over to you once a week or so as soon as we get them. And it's usually, like I said, weekly or every other week that we get this data. So that's how you go ahead and update the owner information for this particular data format.